Blue Eyes was fun, but ultimately it ended in failure. This time around, I want to win. So on a budget of only $25 per week, we're going to build a competitive PK deck that can not only beat content creators, but also top locals and take on regionals when they return. Join me on this journey to become the next king of games. This is sealed only Yu-Gi-Oh! Road to Kingship. We meet again, fellow Phantom Knight enjoyers, and I gotta say, I'm actually kind of pleased. We may have lost last week, but I can definitely tell over rewatching the VOD and some of the games I've done on my own since then, that my piloting the deck has gotten a little bit better than it was, especially even in week 5 or 4. So that's pretty good and I'm happy about that. I think if we pull the right cards this week, and if I just tune up my plays a little bit more, we can definitely get in at least 1 or 2 match wins this week. Speaking of the cards we're looking for this week, I finally got myself some Megatins. Now, what you're going to notice is that I actually opened these tins like several weeks ago, so these are ancient for me. But for you, they're brand new and fresh, so that's fun. So we're going to be opening those tins because we want Torn Skills, we want Raider's Knight, and we want Arc Rebellion. And you know what, we could use a few holo upgrades as well, because if I remember correctly, Staingreaves is a super in this set as well, which is pretty cool. Now if you want to see me pull those Torn Skills and all those other cards I need, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. The more popular I am on the internet, the better my luck is. That's just a proven fact by science. So if you hit those buttons, my chance to pull what I'm looking for increases dramatically, making this more entertaining for both you and me. Finally, another way you can help me out is by watching my other content. So, as I state every week, check out the Magic Progression series. I actually like doing that even more than I like doing Sealed Only, because it's a way to hang out with my friends. It's a really fun series. Even if you have no concept of Magic in your mind, it's still a good watch, and it's pretty easy to pick up on what we're doing right now. Also, check out the Structure Deck Spin Down if you need more Yu-Gi content in your life. It's a really fun series where we spin a wheel, get a random year, get a random structure deck from that year. Pretty cool, pretty fun. We're basically done with DM era at this point. It's mostly Synchro era and Zexal era that we gotta work with, so personally, I think that's the most interesting time for structure decks, so if you like that, make sure to check that out. I'll stop teasing you, we'll get to the reveal. Let's go open that Megatin. Oh boy, it's tin time! Tinny time! Most wonderful time of the year. Yeah, that's right, we finally got our hands on some 2020 Megatins in time for the 8th week. Yes, this is week 8. Yep, 8 week, yep. Definitely didn't record any openings prior to this, calling them week 9 at all. No. But yeah, I'm excited. So if you weren't aware, all the cards I want in here, Arc Rebellion's at Super, we have Raider's Knight at Rare, and we have Torn Skills at Ultra Rare. Now, it may or may not be harder to get Torn Skills in here than it is in the boxes, we'll see, but I'm excited to dig into these things. And also, we're going to see the whole opening start to finish, because there are reports of tins being Ultraless, which is really bad for me, because the card I need the most is an Ultra. So we're going to do this start to finish, just in case anything bad happens, I can complain to Konami about it. Anyways, let's get this bad boy open. So we just gotta go. This is some tight plastic. There we go, we got it. Alright, so that's done. It's a very nice looking tin if you look at that. It's got the Dark Magician versus Blue Eyes appeal. I know we're kind of tired of it at this point, but I do love the aesthetic of Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, and all the Ancient Egypt stuff, which we haven't really had in a long time. Anyways, let's get into this, shall we? Whoops. Let me zoom in a little more, too. Okay, so we have the Bellcat Fighter, Captain Oliver, Lantern Shark, hey, that's pretty cool, Penguin Brave, the Boy, Project Lightcraft, Charge into a Dark World. Hey, upgrade for our Geonator Transverser, that's pretty nice. Traptrix Alamaris, and Secret Revolt, that's pretty cool, I like that a lot. Then we got Ignister Island and Nadir Servant. That's a good pull. Oh hey, upgrade for Jaja. So I got some good pulls out of, oops. There we go. Ooh, Vespinato might be actually useful. So I got some good pulls out of here, but so far, nothing that is good for my deck, but we're only 1 pack in, so, And hey, Nadir Servant's a good pull. From what I understand, that was like one of the harder ones to pull. Focus. Hello. Alright, we got this guy. Gaga Gigglebite. Oop, that's not the common pile. Cursed Dragon. Melfi Hide and Seek, the little guys. Razin Ryu. Diced Dice. Drivetron, Pokemon, I'll be happy about that. Titanocyder. And Dogmatica Punishment. Hey, that'll go good with our Nadir Servant. Hollow Upgrade Nerval. And Dogmatica Maximus and Fusion. Bubble, that guy, that thing, Blizzard. Blizzard might be good, actually. We'll put this off to the side as well. To the side. Rose Girl and Gaia Magical Fierce Knight. Okay, 1 pack left. Give me a card playable for my deck. Fury of Karyushin. This is the searcher for Boy. Melfi Catty. Sweet Knight. Oompa Loompa. Dark Lord Nurgle. Wind Guy. Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Beautiful. Perfect. Ew. Ew. Warning point. Hate this guy. Ooh, Parallel XC. That's pretty cool. Area and ooh, Alpha. That could be maybe playable. And hey, another rank up magic, which, you know what, we can't really use it, but because we already have the Ultra. Well, maybe you can replace one of the what's it called? The my brain's not working. Rank up magic launches with it. And as for a little bit of a review, so the cards we definitely want are the Rank Up Magic and the Arc Rebellion. Arc Rebellion's gonna be good. Like, we can still make it, even though we don't have the Raiders Knight, and that'll be a great way to win. What else do we got in here? We have a Hollow Upgrade for our Geonator Transverser, and I really love the Hollow pattern on this, because the lady herself is actually non-hollow, but the background is. Blizzard might be a good side deck option. Vespinato and upgrade for Jaja as well are pretty good. We'll see on the Vespinato, but definitely we'll throw in the Jaja upgrade. And as for the really cool cards, we did manage to pull Dogmatica Punishment, Nadir Servant, and a Revolt. That's pretty hype. Alright, well, I think we got some changes ahead of us. Let's see what happens in the deck profile. Alright, unfortunately the changes to our deck this week is somewhat minimal. I like what they are, but it's not very exciting. So first off, of course, we have our rarity upgrades. We now have the Geonator Transverser in super rare. Ooh, spicy, spicy, spicy. Look at that shine. Ooh. Then we have our Jaja in rare. Not as exciting, but that's okay. And then for our new additions. So we took out our Evil Swarm Nightmare, and I believe... I forget the other card I took out. It probably wasn't important anyway. So replacing with Vespinato. Vespinato is just a really good Xyz monster in general. And it's a way to get a 4 material Zeus. Granted, that's if the Vespinato survives, so your next turn. But, you know, we'll burn that bridge when we get there. And then, of course, the other big change was the Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon. This is our finisher. Such a good card. Basically, it just reads, gets all the attack of all the monsters on the field, negates all the on-field effects of all monsters permanently, and this is the only one that can attack. So good, so powerful. It's a lot better when you can go into it off of something like a Raiders Knight. That way you're only worrying about the Xyz monster. You don't have to factor in any other cards. With this one, we can either go into it off of our Rank Up Magic Force or Rank Up Magic Launch. Preferably Force, that way it can have some extra materials under there, but Launch is doable enough. And yeah, that's about it for the changes. Hopefully this, plus my, I'd say, better piloting of the deck as of last episode, can get me into maybe a top spot, or at least like 1 match win. Please, Konami? Alright, we'll see you at locals. Yo, we get the mirror for match 1, and we are going first. However, because it's the mirror, it means we've lost, because we can't compete against a full power PK deck. But we're going to try anyways. So we start by summoning a Cloak and a Kagemucha. We link them off for a Pentastag. Then we activate Cloak to get a Shade Brigade into hand. We use Shade and Pentastag to make a Bardiche. We then use Bardiche to send our Cloak instead of Fogblade. We set 1 more card and pass off to them. Their turn, they show us what a real PK deck can do. I'm just going to fast forward over this because I'm too lazy to edit, but essentially he goes through the combo, he makes a Cherubini and a Bardiche. Since he didn't normal summon, he gets to normal out the tour guide and chain his own high rarity Kagemucha to it, by the way. Nice little flex by him. He goes into a dragon and then a unicorn, and he breaks sword, whittling down our board. Finally, he makes an access code and he finishes us off. Game 2, we go first this time. And we have a bit of a similar opening, so we special summon the Junk Forward from our hand, then we normal summon a Cloak and special summon a Butter Spy. We link off for a Pentastag, then a Bardiche. Use Bardiche to send Sword, whoops, a little chat right there, and set a Fogblade and we pass our turn. Our opponent uses a Nyan Nyan and a Kagemucha go into a Cherubini. Then he does the Cherubini stuff, getting out a Seer and triggering the Nyan Nyan. Unfortunately, they didn't know that Nyan Nyan locks them out of Link monsters, so instead they have to use their Ready Fusion to get out the Flame Ghost and go into a Break Sword. On the activation of the Break Sword's effect though, we get to Fogblade it. He's still able to trigger the Seer and bring back the Wrath, and then he goes into a second Break Sword and pops our Bardiche and his Cherubini. After this he passes. On our standby phase, he hits us with the Lancia, so all we can do is set and pass. Love that card. On his turn, he uses a Break Sword and his normal summon boots to pop our Fogblade. He banishes the boots to get a trap, then he uses his other Break Sword to pop our set monster and set Spell Trap. Then he moves to battle, but we use our sword to revive our Bardiche. This triggers Greaves and our hand to special summon itself. He moves to main phase 2, but this leads to a catastrophic misplay. He links off his monsters for a Verte, and then he realizes that he sided out the Dragoon package. Because of this, all he can do is pass to me. On his end step, we banish Fogblade to revive our Cloak. And then we overlay for a Break Sword and pop it with a Rusty. We use the PKs to make Dark Rebellion. Then we use Rusty to bend Boots instead of Fogblade. Then we banish Boots to get our rank up magic. We rank up into Dark Rebellion by banishing Pentastag, and at this point our opponent scoops. Game 3, and this time he didn't break. He's able to go through his PK combo and on a Bardiche, Cherubini, and Masquerena and set 2 back row. We start our turn with the 20s discarding a wing and popping his back row. Sadly, our hand is devoid of monsters, so all I can do is set some more and pass. On our opponent's turn, he can combo into a Unicorn and then an Access Code, which, by the way, did not get a reprint in El Dorado. And, you know, once the Access Code hits the field, he's just able to take the game. Okay. Something good. For a second match, we're going second against VWs, which basically means I lost. They flex on us by going through the combo, ending on an Invoked Raijin, Shen, Chuche, and a Ghost Rare Crystal Wing. This is actually my first time seeing the card, and it's much better looking in person. On our turn, we start with Twin Twisters, discarding Heal to pop his back row. He changed Called by the Grave on the Heal, but I'd rather have him use it on this than anything that's actually like worthwhile. Then we normal summon a Raider's Wing and special summon a Strangleanius. We overlay them for a Dark Rebellion and hit over the Shen. Then we pass to him. On his turn, he does his Wombo combos with his Lili and his Lulu, getting out Vermilion Dragon Mech. Then he goes to battle and bops our Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this duel because basically you're both prevented from winning and making any good plays due to the Raijin, so it's just 5 turns of me setting and him hitting over my monster. Eventually he outs his own Raijin and gets a swing for game. Thankfully for us, game 2 goes a lot better. We start with special summon Junk Forward and a normal summon of Armageddon Knight. We use Armageddon Knight to send our Cloak to grave, then we use Cloak to get Shade Brigandine into our hand. We activate Shade Brigandine and that allows me to special summon Boots. We link our Junk Forward and our Arm Knight into a Pentastag, to which our opponent Phantasmes. After that we link into our Bardiche. We use Bardiche to send Gloves instead of Fogblade. After that we set 1 more and pass. Our opponent pulled the VW special and bricked, so all they can do is get out Chuche. They move to battle and hit into Bardiche with Phantasme. We chain our sword to increase our attack, but he chains 20s to destroy the sword.
You guys gonna put an actual match point? What the fuck?
Who plays Yu-Gi-Oh for fun? On our turn, we revive Rusty and use it to dump Cloak and set Fogblade. We use Cloak to get a Stained Greaves. We then banish our Fogblade to revive Gloves and special Greaves in hand. We overlay for Break Sword, and we forget about Phantasme's protection effect, so we try to pop with Bardiche. This is fine though, because we use Break Sword to pop itself in Chuche. Then we go into a Dark Rebellion and use its effect. We hit into Phantasme, then we use Boots to search for our rank up. We rank up into Dark Requiem, and we pass. On his turn, he hits with an evenly matched, banishing everything but our Dark Rebellion. After that, he can only set 1 and pass. Finally, on our turn, we go at him for 3k, and on his turn, he has no plays, so he just scoops it up. On game 3, we both brick, but I brick worse. Well, it kinda sucks that our only game wins were due to our opponent's bricking. Like, yeah, it's a part of the game, but I wish I could have outskilled them and not out-drew better than them, I guess. But outside of that, I think the deck's doing a little bit better. A little more consistent, just a little better in general. Unfortunately for us, as of the time of recording this, what appears to be the final spoilers for El Dorado have appeared, and there's no BAs in there, there's no Cherubini in there, there's no access code talker in there, meaning that set means nothing to me. Nothing. At least for the purpose of sealed only. It's a fine set, but like, yeah. Which means that I'm going to have to find an alternative way to get Cherubini, and I'm going to need y'all's help for that. Next week we'll be opening the final box of our Legendary Hero deck, so that way we can finish off all the playsets we have and make things just a little bit better. After that, it'll be all tins all the time, baby. Tin. Gotta get those Torn Scales and that Raiders Night. Once we get those, I'll be in a happy spot. But we really, really need Cherubini. And that's where y'all come in. I want y'all to let me know if I should, in the future, not right now, but in the future, skip a week so I can afford a 2020 tin under my budget of $25. So if I skip a week, it's up to 50. Or should I just try for the Cherubini in Dark Neostorm? Like, it's within budget, but it's a secret in Dark Neostorm, so the chance of pulling it are far less. Let me know down below. One more thing before I go. If you noticed, we didn't accomplish our challenge this week because well, I coulda. I just didn't because I'm stupid. I had the ability to on board, and it just didn't clock for me that I could have done that old fog brain, camera brain thing, and oof, that was sad. I just want to bring that up so you know what happened with the challenge this week. With all that being said, it's great having you here. We'll see you again next week. And if you really like this, why not like, comment, subscribe, and maybe share this to a friend. Alright, see you later.